All right. So I woke up this morning thinking I was doing a Cherdleys interview today. No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. And I'm just sitting here in my chair, and he's not here. And I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do, how I'm supposed to handle this, what I'm supposed to... This is a lobby acting weird. I don't want him in there.
Sorry, I was doing illegal stuff.
What's going on, dog?
How you doing?
How you feeling?
Sorry, I was being illegal in there.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Oh, the Heelys.
Yeah, I was exposing myself out there.
Who'd you expose yourself to? The security guard?
Just in the bathroom, I was exposing myself.
Who else was in the bathroom?
Just me, I guess.
You're just whipping it out.
Is that not illegal?
Well, I feel like the mirror doesn't really count.
Dang it.
What have you been doing all day?
Just hanging out outside, trying to be late. 'Cause that's what cool guys do.
What? I mean, I'm trying to figure out what version of you I'm getting right now.
Well, since the show, I was a freaking idiot, nerd guy with this button-up shirt.
Since
Stupid
For the
boat.
Love of Lena, which some of them might not have seen, but if you'd like to see it, it's on the No Jumper channel.
Yeah, you got to watch it. I was a loser on that show. I had this button-up shirt, this bow tie, ew. And now I'm trying to be like you. I got the tattoo.
Which actually seems like it kind of came off in that melee you were just involved in.
Yeah, me and the security guard are best friends.
Yeah, he looks like
And then,
whoop the shit out of you there for a second.
Yeah. That's what cool guys do.
He's a big guy, too.
Yeah. So I think we should do season 2 of the Love of Lena.
So you're saying that these are all changes that you've made in your life in order to sort of like compensate for the ways in which you feel like you failed last time.
Yeah, I think people thought I was weird. I brought tap dancing shoes. That's nowhere near Heelys.
I thought that was kind of sick, the tap dancing shoes.
Why the frick was everyone making fun of me?
Well, it's a bunch of hoodlums, really, right?
That's true.
Male porn stars, a couple gangbangers. I mean,
That is true.
they don't know a lot about tap dancing on average, I would say.
That is true. The Crip dance versus tap dance, I think that was rigged. I think I won.
Yeah, you do win. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to compete with like a dance that sort of represents the streets
Yeah.
versus a dance that really, I don't know what tap dancing is supposed to really represent. It's just like playing the drums with your feet.
Yeah. It's like an opera. It's like jazz.
Well, yeah, I feel like it's kind of more like playing the drums with your feet.
Yeah.
Like you got all these different parts of your shoe, and you can just kind of like when I watch it, but they be doing a lot of like fancy footwork too.
This is like the hi-hat. This is like the bass drum. This is like the tom-tom.
Right, there you go, yeah.
Crash cymbal. Ride cymbal. You get your dick in it.
Her Heelys / tap dancing shoes.
Make it.
Did they ever actually make soap shoes / Heelys?
Yeah. I actually
did.
had some and they got stolen.
Who took them?
I don't know. Legitimately, I had some. I got it from eBay.
Really?
Yeah.
I hear they're like kind of hard to get nowadays, the soap shoes.
Yeah, they're like $80 and I don't know where they went.
Did you have them earlier in your life?
No.
I did.
Really?
When I was 13, I had soap shoes.
Whoa. Did you know how to use them?
Not really. It was actually kind of like an early introduction to what I was, because I had some friends who would like just hop on a 10 stair. Like it was nothing. It was like dudes who didn't even skate or anything, and they just would hop on a 10 stair rail and just grind down that
With soaps?
with soap shoes like it was nothing. And I was fucking around the curbs. Even that I had a real hard time with, I remember.
Falling up a curb is hard.
It's hard to find a waxed ledge that even really works with the soap shoes. They're just not as slick as you'd like them to be.
Yeah. We should bring soap back because it's been like 20 years. Usually it cycles through like trends and stuff, you know?
Well, that was a time period though where everybody was trying to find the next alternative action sport.
Yeah.
It was like the first X Games had like bungee jumping and like a bunch of stupid shit you could never imagine now.
Is bungee jumping an extreme sport?
Well, at the time, the definition of extreme sport was very broad.
Yeah, that's true. Because there's no one winning in bungee jumping.
I don't think it was actually bungee jumping, but it was like something equally weird. I think there was a street luge.
Street luge.
I don't even know what that is as I say it, but it sounds like something that I heard was in the first X Games.
It's like laying on a longboard and just going really fast down the whole thing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You know what I always thought was really interesting? Is
What?
that Red Bull sponsors action sports of almost every kind.
Yeah.
Monster too, whatever. But like they won't touch the Razor scooters.
Yeah, what's up with that? I have one in my car, actually.
Really?
I have a Razor and Sriracha collab scooter.
Sriracha, really?
Yeah. It's in the back of my car.
I'm almost even surprised that Sriracha would do that.
Yeah. That makes no sense.
But scootering is like super popular.
Yeah.
But mostly with like 7-year-olds.
I could go grab it, the scooter. Maybe near the end.
Yeah, maybe at the end.
It's so cool.
Do you have any tricks? You just tail whip?
I could like half tail whip. You could like do halfway around.
I feel like that's way different than doing a full tail whip.
Yeah, that's kind of just falling.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I couldn't. I used to try it when I worked at. I worked at Brookstone.
Yeah.
You ever been to Brookstone?
Is that where you sit in the massage chairs?
Yep.
That's where you go in like middle school and you don't buy anything?
Yeah. There are all kinds of vibrating.
Yeah. It's like an undercover sex shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Malls that would never have a sex shop will gladly have an entire. It's like a covert sex shop.
Yep. It is.
I never thought of that till now.
Book sex. Bookstore. Brookstore? It's called Brookstore?
Brookstone.
Brookstone.
Brook sex though. I like that.
Brookstone.
Brookstone.
Like water and stone for boner. So
If I had
that's
to
kind of
guess,
sexy, sexual.
how they came up with the name, I would picture someone just observing a babbling brook.
Yeah. And that's kind of hot.
If I had to guess, I bet Brookstone's been around for like 200 years. And it used to be like the most obscure store ever. And then this slowly came into the modern era and started selling you Tempur-Pedic pillows.
Yep. To lie your head on when you're doing anal.
Or vaginal.
Oh, yeah, or vaginal. But I wonder if prehistoric sexual toys, bleep that out, the sex word.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they were just very, very smooth rocks, like very long, smooth rocks that they would just polish. And then they use those as sex toys to put up your butt.
Because you got to think that at least one of the things that people prize about a sex toy in this day and age is it's got to be a little bit of squish to it.
Yeah.
So that when you're putting it in yourself, it's not just like raw, just rock.
Yeah. Maybe they took like sheep organ, put it around the rock. Didn't they use sheep skin as condoms? And they could put like an organ, like one of those little toys that like, you know, you hold it and it slips out.
Even wood. I feel like would
Wood.
be a lot more comfortable than like rock.
Yeah, maybe just really fine down wood.
But I imagine that a vaginal splinter is probably a whole thing.
Yeah, that's a whole charade.
Right.
We should get some grandmas on here and see what they used.
You know, I remember raising my hand in like 3rd or 4th grade and asking the teacher or I think they had a special teacher come in for like sex ed. It's like a sex expert. Like, why do we need that in like 4th grade? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Isn't that weird? Like none of us were having sex.
Yeah,
I would hope.
it was awkward.
Do you remember
Or
that though? Like
maybe they liked it.
like 4th grade.
Yeah,
Is it-
yeah.
Like I don't think my mind is betraying me. I think I really was that young. And then
Yeah.
have somebody come in and teach about sex. And I remember I raised my hand and I said, "What did they do in the 13 colonies for safe sex?" 'Cause they're telling us
Yeah.
about condoms,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're like, "They had condoms," and I'm like, "Okay." Like I don't believe you, but
Yeah.
even as a kid, I'm like, no. Modern.
Did they have rubber back then? They maybe used like cloth for condoms, and it was just really dry.
Yeah, I mean, a condom is like a magic moment in industrial production of rubber goods, right? It's like
Yeah.
so skinny that you can just make it like perfectly fit to your dick. And one size is supposed to fit like most dicks. They have like bigger and smaller ones, but for the most part.
Yeah. I wonder.
And I feel bad mentioning this because I know
I've only put them on. I've never used them.
So that's real. You haven't had sex.
Some could say.
How did you feel when you got eliminated from the show?
It felt fine. I felt like I needed to redefine myself and find myself. And I was eliminated first. I didn't watch the second episode yet. Who got eliminated second? Or was anyone even eliminated besides me? For all I know, I could have been the only one eliminated forever.
Honestly, like it's kind of hard for me to remember at this point what the order was.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily want to spoil it for people that haven't watched it yet.
Don't spoil it.
But yeah, I mean,
you don't. If you didn't watch it, you don't even know if I got eliminated.
If you didn't watch it, you could stop the tape right now and go watch that.
Yep.
Who knows? Maybe you won.
Maybe I won.
But I mean, yeah, just what was it? Just being around all that masculinity in the air, the crip macking and whatnot.
Yeah, Crip Mac even off camera was very excitable,
hostile.
Yeah. It was quite beautiful, but he did take very good naps.
He was napping, huh?
Yeah, I thought he was just napping to ignore me off camera, and then he kept doing it, and he would fall asleep instantly, and it was great.
That's one thing that people probably wouldn't guess about this show is there was a lot of behind the scenes napping. Because one of the days I got like a solid hour and a half nap while the guys were in the hot tub with my wife.
Yeah. How
not
was
a
that?
care in the world.
Yeah, not a care in the world.
Just napping. Already drinking a little coffee. That's a struggle nap.
Yeah.
That's a tough nap when you already consumed a Phil's coffee. Or something. And then you try to take a nap afterward. You have to really, you're like an excitable 3-year-old. At that point, you have to really.
You're twitching. You ever twitch yourself to sleep?
If I'm at the point of twitching, maybe it's just not going to happen.
Sleep paralysis demons.
Do you have the thing where you're sleeping and then you go, like,
like
you're not like fully waking up, but your body does like a weird jerk thing?
Yeah, that's the twitch. That's what I meant. I didn't. It's not like it's involuntary sleep twitches.
Right. Yeah. What is that?
I don't know. Your body just freaking out, going into dream world.
I'm not going to like take this podcast to the level of Googling things, but I would like to Google that at some point.
Yeah. Do it in your alone time.
I'll do it
in the bathroom.
I'd like to have a Googler with me.
Yeah, we should have a Googler with me.
That's one thing that I realized when I was hanging out with Gary Vee one time. I hung out with Gary Vee at a weed convention. And he doesn't smoke weed, obviously. It just doesn't seem like the kind of person who would smoke weed. But
yeah.
When he wants to Google something, he just points at one of the guys around him and says, Google that.
Really?
Yes.
And it works?
They do it. They're getting paid to stand around him. So, I mean, or even if they're not, even if they just look up to you and they think you're dope, they'll probably Google whatever you tell them to Google. And then you don't have to be the loser pulling his phone out of his pocket and staring down while you're supposed to be in a social environment.
Yeah. And it takes you away from that social interaction.
Yeah.
Maybe the security guard could be our Googler. I don't think he likes me. Yeah, probably a bad idea. There needs to be a fluffer and a Googler.
A fluffer.
Fluffer and a Googler.
I'm planning a viral arc surrounding the fluffer thing in the near future.
Yeah.
I'm going to hire a fluffer.
They need more representation.
That's what I'm saying.
They need to go on their strike, like how the actors went on their strike. The fluffers need to go on their strike.
I've been in the porn world for maybe like 4 or 5 years, and I've never seen a fluffer. I've never even heard of one.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably kind of unrealistic, right?
Yeah, maybe it's not a thing. Maybe I could be the first in your world.
You want to fluff men?
Oh, then I would fluff you.
You could fluff
Is there fluffer for women? You got to...
I mean, you could imagine that maybe there would be something going on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I just filmed a scene before I came in here. If I look a little red in the face, that's why. And right before the scene, she came up to me and she handed me a sponge, or she held it out in front of me and said, "Can you put this inside me?" Because she was menstruating a little bit. And I'm like, I've never done that. I don't know how to do that. I'll fetch my wife. Perhaps I know she's done it before.
So that's a thing.
Oh yeah.
It's like a fun tampon.
And let's name
that
drop.
you can find in any kitchen.
Yeah, name drop. I was with Amber Rose and Tiffany Haddish at a party the other day, right? Mm-hmm. This is like a week before Tiffany Haddish got like her 18th DUI. Mm-hmm. And I was talking about how my wife didn't come to the party because she was on her period. Mm-hmm. And I mentioned that we had actually just filmed a scene that morning. And they said, she filmed it on her period? Like, you can't do that. I'm like, oh, yeah, you can. And I realized that the like 4 or 5 women around me didn't know that porn stars film porn on their period and just kind of jam some shit up there so that the blood won't be showing. I feel kind of awkward saying this to a virgin, but
it's okay. Yeah, I need to learn.
So that like women can do that. I don't think normal women ever do that though.
Yeah. You could. They could. If
they could.
Yeah. I guess it's instead of a tampon, they could just go to the kitchen and just soak it up. If they're squeamish to blood.
You know, wrap up a napkin, like roll up some paper towels and kind of jam it up in there.
Get a little wet.
Yeah. What do you want to do sexually now that you're like really trying to get out there?
Exposed to that. You can, I guess, making love.
Oh, so you've heard about that?
Yeah.
So even having not had sex, you've heard things about making love.
Mm-hmm. I know there's a thing called making love.
It's kind of slow and
yeah, it's slow. It's all rough and wild. It's like oh, your clothes are all mushing together, and they just yeah.
2 people becoming one.
Yeah,
is hot.
That's hot.
That is hot.
Sweat. It's like wrestling, except the only winners is both of you guys because
you're gonna nut, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
But when you think about like how all these people live their life, like isn't it weird that like, some people are focused on money, some people are focused on fame, and other people are just focused on like eking out 15 seconds of their genitals feeling good.
Yeah.
And we're all focused on that, at least to some degree.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if that's why men have that post-nut clarity, because it's just on their mind and it just takes up their whole day. And then once they do it, they're like, that was, I didn't even make love. I just made a little bit of peanut butter.
If you didn't have post-nut clarity, then your entire life would just be grinding to I guess.
I wonder if the world always had post-nut clarity, where would we be as a society? Would we be like that one picture of perfect harmony?
I know what meme you're referring to, and I feel bad for everybody who doesn't.
Yeah. That perfect harmony is if men always had post-nut clarity.
But I think almost everyone does. It's just that the post-nut clarity doesn't really last that long.
Yeah. Yeah, they need to really... If they ever use a condom or sheepskin, then they should keep it as a reminder. Just carry it around.
When people say they have sheepskin condoms, it's not like you open up the condom wrapper and there's just like fur falling out of it, is there?
Could be.
Bah.
Bah. That's the sound that people make sometimes.
That's the sound of the police.
Oh.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. Come in, I'm going to arrest you. Just kidding, I'm not a policeman. Psh, whips out his boobs.
I'm a gay stripper with big tits.
I have huge tits. I got surgically... Have you ever thought about getting breast implants?
No. But I've thought about a dick implant.
You know how guys could get their legs heightened?
Oh, yeah. You think about that?
Can guys get their penis heightened, put a rod in it?
Yeah. There's a few different styles, and I keep finding out about more styles.
Yeah. And we got AI now. There's no way we don't got wiener elongators.
You could ask the AI, like, tell me a way to make my dick bigger than nobody has ever thought of before in the history of the human race.
Yeah, why don't people use AI for good?
I think mostly they are.
Oh, yeah. Like, AI, please make my wiener bigger.
I mean, they could at least tell you all the options.
That's true.
I wish I could find it right now, but there's a dude I know who got in a big argument with his girl, and she exposed that he got a dick implant.
Whoa.
And I went and looked at it online, and I wish I had it like ready to go on my phone, but it's just like this piece of plastic
We need a Googler.
inside. We need a Google. I should tell the security guard. It's just a piece of plastic because she posted the receipt. She posted how much it cost.
Oh,
and
the
everything.
receipt. Whoa.
And
Is there a receipt for that? Is there like a receipt for breast implants?
yeah, or any
Just a little,
financial
like,
transaction.
CVS receipt for
Just as boobs a bunch of times.
boobs.
I mean, yeah, but like she posted it. 15 grand this dude spent. And I don't know where his money comes from, but I imagine 15 grand is a pretty solid amount of money to him. Mm-hmm. And I Googled up the doctor's name. I started looking at his work. I find the penis implant. I'm not taking this risk, but it's pretty crazy that there's dudes out there that are like, God, I mean, now I got to see his dick. You got to know.
Yeah. So if you had a Googler, would you ask him to Google that?
It's too complicated because
There's a lot of politics involved in that.
I could just say like, hey, go to my camera roll and just scroll back until you see something that looks like it could be a dick implant.
Yeah. Oh, true.
Because that's what I would have to do right now if I wanted to find it.
Do you have a lot of dicks in your phone?
Do you want to see my friend Rat Dick Ralph's dick? Oh, you met him?
Yeah, I did meet him.
And
He did like 20 dabs at 9 in the morning.
Dude, I sent this to Crip Mac and he was not stoked. and when he
Just a cold open text of
Yes.
someone's dick.
literally, and then he was just like, Adam, that's not funny.
Why is it so like tucked in? I wonder if it's in his body.
It's like, I feel like that answers a lot of questions.
Don't
about
do
what's
drugs,
wrong with him.
kids. That's what your penis would look like.
You think there's no way that drugs could be powerful enough to make your dick do that?
That's true. That's true. Do drugs, kids. Maybe it'll help your penis.
What do you think of Rat Dick Ralph?
He was a funny guy. I met him weirdly at the mall the day before. Wow. So random. He was like, I'm going to be on the thing tomorrow. I'm like, what? Oh, weird.
Do you know my schedule?
Yeah, and he knows my schedule.
And they told you that I was going to be there?
Because I guess there was a call time.
Right.
So,
9 a.m.
yeah, like 9 a.m.
Brutal. I can't believe you even showed up.
I know.
A bunch of people bailed at the last minute.
Really?
There's supposed to be more people there, yeah. We had like
Maybe someone else would have got eliminated.
we had like a boxer. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. There was a boxer who was going to do it.
I'm a boxer professionally.
Really? Who'd you box?
A guy in England, and then I did a chess boxing thing. I lost both of them.
What is chess boxing?
You play chess, you box for a minute, play chess for a minute, box for a minute, play chess, box.
Wow.
It's kind of fun.
I feel like it would be more important to be good at the boxing because you could just get knocked out.
That's what I thought, but I ran out of time on the chess part because I'm an idiot.
You're not good at chess.
No, I tried to learn the day before.
I hear about people playing chess all the time. Speed chess on chess.com. Sounds kind of fun, I guess. But
Those people are smart.
yeah, I'm not trying to put myself through that.
No, that's a lot.
Yeah, definitely. So are you the same guy with the YouTube channel?
I guess so.
Because it's not like you really, you know, are revealing yourself to be any one of the many versions of yourself that you see on the YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. So I don't really know if it's you or.
Right now, it's me.
I really dug into the YouTube channel last night.
When you take off the mask, these glasses are the mask, I guess.
Where do you get glasses that have the pads all the way at the bottom like that?
Yeah, see, these are cool. So this is safety for if you're doing the sex.
Uh-huh.
This is,
Got to be ready.
and it folds up
Oh, shit.
for if you need to lay on her and get cuddled. Head rubs, you could take these off. Put it by your bed. Like that.
And why?
Amazon, $5.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, those are like, that's a good prop right there. Like, really like conveys loser.
Yeah.
What are those ones right there?
Oh, I just got these in the mountains. They're just kind of comfy.
Right.
But if it's really sunny in your bedroom and you're having sex, then you do this. You strap it on.
Keep it on your head.
Or if you become blind, and then you have sex, you could keep it on while you're having sex, while you're blind sex.
Right. Blind sexing.
Yeah.
That's great.
And this kind of matches you. That's why I wore it.
Oh, yeah. Well, you didn't even know what I was going to be wearing, did you? You didn't know I was going to be having a purple day?
No. Oh, I wore the same socks that I wore on For the Love of Lena.
Corona
socks.
You drink a lot of Coronas?
No.
It's toxic shit.
Yeah.
I regret all those years drinking beer.
Yeah, I was a big IPA guy.
Were you really?
Yeah, it's gross, huh? I would drink them because no one else would drink them. Because I feel like if you drink like a Corona, if you bring a big pack, then like everyone would drink like take it from you. So I got those because they taste like dirt trash.
Right.
Yeah, and I guess I felt like I was one with nature drinking IPAs because it's just dirt going through my body.
Same logic.
Yeah.
I had a friend back in the day. We would be taking these BMX trips, and we would all buy gallons of water, basically. It's like the most economical way for you to consume a lot of water. You're out riding bikes, sweating, you need a lot of water. And he buys a gallon of water and was convinced that somebody else had taken a sip of it. So he grabs it, and he spits a fucking big loogie in it, and then caps it, and shakes it up, and then sits there with a fucking smirk on his face, like he just
he won the
showed
world,
everybody, like, haha, now you won't drink my water.
Yeah.
You're drinking loogie water.
That's psychotic.
Isn't that like the craziest thing ever? This dude became a fucking like psycho, like later down the line. Like I don't know if he's in prison still, but he had to go away for a while.
He's probably in prison.
I'm not kidding. This is like the first BMX rider I ever met. He was like really fucked up.
Yeah. Were you ever one of those kids that would just at like recess would just keep spitting? Or no one of those kids? I think
you eat some candy and
Yeah.
then you let the spit come out and you hang it till it's
Oh,
about an
yeah.
inch away from the ground and you suck it back up.
Yeah.
I haven't had spit like that
Yeah.
since then.
Yeah. There's been a study that came out that kids that would do that are 99% are in jail for life.
I mean, I feel lucky to be in the 1% that didn't end up in jail.
Yeah. Well, who do it all the time, you know?
Do you think that there's anything special about your spit when you're a kid?
I don't know.
lets
Maybe
you
it's
do
a
that?
marking your territory type of thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Because, yeah, kids would spit, especially, I feel like dudes. It's like more of maybe it's like a masculine thing and fuck society.
Well, when you're a kid, you just want to figure out what your body is capable of. You know?
Yeah. You're like, how far can I come?
What can
How
I
far
put in
can I
my
pee?
ass?
Yeah, what can I put in my ass?
What can I fit in my ass is a big question that every kid wants answered.
What's the most fucked up thing I could Google and then like be okay after with? Oh, this guy's getting his head chopped in half.
And that's why I
gonna
feel
pretend
bad.
like I'm fine.
Right. Oh, yeah. We were looking at that shit.
Yeah.
But that's why, but we also grew up in the age of like gross out porn and gross out sex shock sites and shit.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? The first porn I ever saw was poopsex.com.
Poop sex. Yeah, that definitely sounds like something you would type in like with your friends.
Yeah.
Poopsex.com.
Because even in 1997, you could just guess a URL and there would be something gross there.
Yeah. Yeah, we would have to guess. Or it would be like just word of mouth. You know, rotten.com.
It's like pre-Google. Yeah. Rotten.com for a while. We were on there all the time.
Yeah. That stuff was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
That early internet stuff. Well, there's probably worse stuff now, like Live Leak.
Well, I feel like I look through Twitter and I see murders all the time now.
Really?
Yeah.
I deleted my Twitter.
Really?
Too scared.
Of what?
What, seeing murders?
Really? Ever since Elon took over, tons of murders on the feed.
Really?
I mean, I don't remember really seeing much of it before Elon took over.
Yeah. All right, play those murder clips.
Yeah, we're going to just like
for 30 minutes.
Play it over the rest of the interview.
We're talking about real stuff and it's just murders.
Well, imagine if YouTube was that lawless.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
You think that'd be sick?
That'd be wild. Someone did send me a video link and it was just like a lady's like huge boobs and then like a kid like breastfeeding.
On YouTube?
Yeah, I guess like educational.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw, my friend sent me one too. It was one of those things where I'm like, oh, I hate you. And then you just go away and try to forget. And it was just like a For educational purposes, it was like a close up of someone's butthole
And they're shaving
on
it,
YouTube.
right? Or waxing it or something.
Some weird.
It's got like 6 million views.
Yeah,
Someone showed me this too.
putting like a magic school bus type video camera up their butt to like
Oh, up the butt.
something like that. Yeah.
I didn't even watch it, but somebody like who works here, Flacco, was actually like really upset about this, if I remember correctly. Like just couldn't wrap his head around the fact that this was allowed on YouTube, like a butthole shaving tutorial.
Yeah.
I wouldn't press my luck
Yeah.
with that.
I wouldn't either. Yeah, would get things taken down.
Oh, for
how does YouTube like? That's educational. How's the YouTube robot like? That's educational.
Yeah.
That butthole.
And
shaving.
just because this guy's been making comedy videos or interviewing rappers for all these years, like we're gonna limit his freedom of speech and not allow him to teach the world how to shave his butthole.
Yeah, that's downright censorship.
That's fucked. That's what we need Elon for.
Educational porn. That's the new one. You see the Magic School Bus, the kid? It's a weird show.
I don't really remember it.
Miss Frizzle was like a crackhead acid lady that like had a magic school bus, and they'd all shrink down and like fly into like penis holes and like buttholes.
Wait, really?
Not really, but they would like fly in their ear and be like,
Right.
There was one where there was fish. They were in the bottom of the ocean and there was fish, and like the fish like nuts on the eggs. I'm like, dang, I watched this when I was like 9.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't think I ever seen the show. I think I just think that I saw the show because there was a Lil Yachty lyric where he said something about she on a school bus, call her Miss Frizzy or something. And I remember like getting that kind of stuck in my head, even though I didn't actually like understand the root of it. Yeah. Which is kind of fucked.
I wonder if there's educational porn. You get one of those colonoscopy video cameras and you just... This is the inside of a colon or down your mouth. It's like that vor porn.
But how would a kid even like get education from that? Like what would I learn from just seeing the butthole? Like
you'd have to be an adult to get educated on it.
What if instead of sending in sex ed teachers in 4th grade or whatever, I don't know if they still do that, but what if they just like gave a grant to like Brazzers?
Yeah.
And they made the instructional videos for the schools.
With like porn stars we all know and love.
Get the kids familiar
with what, yeah.
Like, do you think Brazzers would accept that contract? I don't think I would. I don't want the responsibility.
Brazzers for kids.
I mean, anything could happen.
It's like Gap for kids, but Brazzers.
Because one thing you realize once you become a parent is that it's way easier to start a business if you're selling shit to kids, because people will spend money on the dumbest shit ever for kids.
Yeah.
Whereas like for me as an adult, I mean, I could walk through the mall all fucking day and I'm probably never going to see anything I want.
Yeah, yeah.
And like when you walk through a store with your kid, it's like they want everything.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like, okay, yeah, that does seem cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's get that.
Yeah.
And 7 other things.
Yeah. That's how I feel with like merch sometimes too. Like, like YouTubers with like a young audience could sell a bunch because the moms are like, fine, yeah, I'd have a shirt. Yeah. And then like me who has like older audience, they're like, I got to pay for like my life. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm never going to sell anything ever again.
That's why I get so fascinated when I see people wearing like obscure YouTuber merch in public. I'm just like, wow, that is wild to just admit that you're part of that tribe.
You're part of that YouTube cult.
Yeah. So shout out Danny Mullen.
Oh, yeah,
always,
yeah.
But that's my boy. He's always pushing his merch. And it's always the weirdest fucking insider joke references or whatever that I don't even get.
Yeah.
And I mean, he keeps making it, so he must be selling it. But it's just kind of baffling to me. Like, damn, people like get these jokes and want to invest in wearing them. Mm-hmm. But hey, I mean, yeah, it's good shit.
He has a good audience. They love him.
They like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And he had long hair when he interviewed you. I noticed that he looked kind of hot.
He did?
A little hotter than average.
Danny Mullen?
Yeah, because he got short hair now.
Yeah. He's hotter with long hair?
I think maybe, yeah.
When you guys did Sledge Lords?
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, when I saw him interviewing you, Oh, because that, when I saw it was,
yeah.
I'm watching Sunny V. I searched your name. I searched Cherdleys interview. I find a fucking Sunny V2 video from before he was popping.
Oh, yeah.
When he still showed his face.
Yeah.
And he's breaking down the Cherdleys story.
Oh, the Sunny V, he showed his face in that?
Yes, which he doesn't anymore.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like he's the worst looking guy on earth, but it's like, I think it's probably better if you haven't really if you don't have to show your face, it's probably better to not show it.
That would be nice just to hide.
Yeah. So you want to be more famous or less famous?
I'd like to be more famous, or I'd like to be enough to like make a good living. Cause I would rather it be like more of like doing like a sketch group type thing instead of it being just me, That's what I try to do.
Yeah, you have a whole crew.
Yeah, the whole crew.
But sometimes the people like cycle in and out, right?
Yeah, they'll come back. It's mostly like friends who want to do it, people that want to do it, and people that I think are funny and good.
I'm like fascinated by it because I just see, I just wonder what it's like. It's like you and Trevor Wallace and like 4 other dudes, and you're just like at some college in LA, and you're just like pretending to be 7th graders, and so is it all? You have like a little bit written down?
We write up some, or we have like a concept, and then we'll kind of improvise off that.
Right.
Because we're too lazy to write something.
Well, I like it though.
And the magic happens when you're like, it's like a podcast, you come up with some funny stuff while you're just riffing.
That's how I started to feel earlier. I was like, oh, this is kind of feeling like a Cherdleys video. We're just kind of going back and forth and just like brainstorming dumb shit.
Just saying weird stuff, yeah.
And then you do your own editing?
Yeah, I like editing. It's kind of fun.
Do you like chop it into like jokes, reaction shots? Like, because I can't personally, I've never edited anything that intricate. I can't imagine what it's like laying all this shit on top of each other. It's probably the least interesting thing that the fans could ever imagine me asking about. But
well, I used to edit wedding videos, so yes. I'm like used to it. So that this is way better and more fun than editing like someone's best day of their life. Boo.
I don't think I've ever edited anything that wasn't entirely in chronological order.
Yeah. So it is kind of hard. I was like separate it into like different things. Do you bite your fingers too?
A little bit,
till it bleeds.
Yeah, you really?
Yeah, I do sometimes.
I've been working really hard to not do it, but it seems like I always have one finger that I'm just kind of.
Yeah. One time I did it on a podcast and it was bleeding the whole time. I just kept having to like.
Bro, that's like my darkest fucking secret right there. Is I've done that before, and then I'm waiting until the other person starts talking, so I'm gonna be like, start sucking the blood off of it.
Yeah,
that feels like okay, you have a problem.
See, men have to deal with blood too.
From our fingers,
we need a sponge.
But that is funny because for our fingers. If a girl had that problem, we would all view her like a meth head.
True. We're slightly meth heads.
But like, just if a girl, because girls have like fucking fingernails out to here sometimes.
Yeah, true.
And if that was paired with like, even just the way my fingers are right now, with like a little bit of wear and tear on the sides.
Yeah.
They would look nuts.
They get it all like done up and stuff.
Yeah.
And we don't even like notice sometimes.
Well, society has this crazy expectation for women versus men.
Wow. True.
You ever hear that song by Taylor Swift, I'm the Man?
No.
Whole song is about how like Leonardo DiCaprio gets to go out and just like bang all these fucking random 19-year-old models and he's the man.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile she's had like 8 boyfriends in her like 15-year career, and like everybody talks about her like she's a fucking whore.
Yeah. True.
It's kind of fucked, right?
It's kind of crazy, yeah. Same with like comments on Instagram. They're always mean to girls more so than guys.
Or like Pokimane selling her cookies for a lot of money.
She sells cookies?
Yeah, she like bought some cookie company and then started selling the cookies for more money than they were selling them for.
Oh, did people hate on that?
People are so mad about it.
Yeah.
And like, I guess like her reaction to it has been kind of careless.
People are like, she needs that A-class acting reaction.
I just don't know if people would like have the same level of judgment for like a male content creator.
Oh yeah, probably not.
But if you're if you're big They're going to hate on you no matter what, right?
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Haters stink.
Haters do stink.
Oh, you know what I want to do? If there's
mean people suck.
Yeah, mean people stink.
Let's bring that bumper sticker back.
Boom.
1996.
Nice.
Very popular bumper sticker.
Was it?
Mean people suck. You don't remember this?
Put that on shirts. Merch.
I knew a lot of people with mean people suck.
Mean people
bumper
suck.
stickers.
Girls are perfect. No matter what.
That's very modern.
Yeah, that's true. That wouldn't have been back in the day.
Women are flawless.
Women are flawless.
No matter what.
But what I want to do is if there's like an afterlife or something, I want to like sit down like someone who wrote a weird comment, or like a mean comment, and just, like have like a podcast with them. Like, what if someone said like a comment that hurt your feelings? Then you could just sit down and be like, why'd you do that?
Right.
And they have to explain why they wrote that comment. If they're above like 21 and they're like an adult, if they're like a kid, then whatever. But like they have to explain themselves if they're like a 25 dude from Oklahoma who like says something mean. About
I think we should do this right now. We should do this right now. To catch a predator.
Yeah.
But to catch a hater.
Yeah.
So you find a hater, a random hater. Every person who leaves a negative comment to you on Instagram.
Yeah.
You create fake profiles. I'm not sure exactly what direction you want to take this, but somehow you bait them into like meeting you at a Walmart.
Yeah.
And then you force them to confront the reality of their hate comment.
Perfect.
But you got to get some other kind of dirt too. You got to get them to talk about their filthy sex fantasies or something.
Yeah.
You pretend to be a super hot chick.
Yeah, pretend to be a super hot chick. Get them to be vulnerable. Meet up. And that's a great idea.
Right.
To catch a hater.
Because like really being a hater is pretty bad, right? Like,
yeah, it's
that's how
very strange. You're like, why are you here in the first place?
Why are you hating?
Why are you hating? Why are you here? Just unfollow, please.
But there's so many times that you'll see people get into a conflict online, and especially if the person is not really like well versed in arguing online, and someone will say something bad about them, and their entire response will be like, I don't even know him. Why is he talking about me online? And it's kind of like, well, bro, that's what we all do.
Yeah.
That's the entirety of content for the most part.
True.
Like you can't, that's not a trump card. You can't just say like, oh, you don't even know me.
Yeah. Can't say that.
This just doesn't work.
But then we could get to know them by deep diving into their profile.
And exposing them.
And exposing a random guy from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That would be good.
But that's why it's great when like random people get famous. They'll like kind of think that's like okay. They'll like start arguing with people in their Instagram comments and shit for a while, like funny. Post it on their story and just be like, look at Claire. Claire called me a dick in a comment. Fuck you, Claire.
Oh, you mean when like famous people like get mad at like their haters?
Yeah.
Like publicly.
And haven't like figured out that they need to just chill.
Yeah. So they'll get like they'll deep dive too hard into it. And you're like, whoa.
I got a guy like that in my life. My guy Whack 100. He's like the scariest fucking dude ever.
Yeah.
But he'll like anyone, like you could go in his Instagram comments right now and just argue with him all day. He'll just go back and forth with you.
You're just bored and you're just like, I want to go argue with Whack 100.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he still does it. He might have like smartened up a little bit, but for a while, I mean, you could just anything you wanted to say, he'll go back and forth with you like 8 or 9 times.
Just start off with like dumb.
Yeah, you're a dum dum. That would probably be the first. Yeah, if you want to get a reaction, call him a dum dum.
You're a dum dum.
How much time? Oh, all right. Break this down. What's your internet diet when you're on YouTube? When you're browsing social media? What do you spend a lot of time on?
Interesting. Yeah, I've been wondering because I'm like, oh, is sketch comedy like kind of dead on YouTube and stuff like that, or is it just like short form?
Because you've pivoted to the shorts in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
Or at least everything you make, you got to kind of do the short thing as well.
Yeah. Kind of do a lot of shorts. And like the long form stuff, I'm like, is that even doing well? Besides like if it's like podcast commentary, the real stuff, which I'm like, I do watch most of that anyway.
Podcast.
So I'm like,
podcast commentary?
Like podcast.
Too lazy to try?
Or commentary or like somewhat like a topic or something. Like, I'll watch like I'll watch that kind of stuff versus like a sketch too. So I'm like, oh, maybe I need to like kind of get onto that, because that stuff is a little more interesting.
Right.
And maybe sketch comedy could be like shorts and stuff, or things that look real.
Right. Like I clicked on like a couple of the videos that I have saved to watch at some point in the near future. One of them is the podcast producer whose job it is to get high. Yeah. And I've seen it and it sucked me in. But I have a good relationship with the content creator. Well, I don't have a good relationship with him. Actually, he's made videos shitting on me. But I have a good relationship in the sense that I've watched a bunch of his content and I think it's good. I trust that it'll be good. Sunny V2 is the most extreme version of that. Yeah. Because he's just kind of had hit after hit. So people are just clicking everything. And that's kind of a big part of getting your shit to do well.
I wonder if like, because I kind of just shit post recently. Because I'm like short, whatever lands. And it's like more interesting and fun. But I'm like, what? I'm like, does that deter the audience, or does it even matter? Because some stuff will like blow up out of nowhere on like Reels or Shorts or TikTok, and it's like, does it matter the shit posting, or do you need like every video to be like a smash hit?
Like the Mr. Beast thing.
Yeah, like the Mr. Beast thing.
Because my channel is the complete and total opposite of that, where like you do an interview, you get 15 fucking clips from the interview, you drop the clips, you drop the full interview, you drop, it's just like, we're just really hitting them with a lot of stuff. Yeah. And you can really make your own call about how much of it you want to watch. But the new theory of the internet is the Mr. Beastification of everything. Yeah. Let's focus on retention. Let's focus on keeping them entertained. There will be an explosion every 8 to 10 seconds. Yeah. And that, I don't know if I really want to play that game.
I know. It seems so like formulaic. Obviously it works, but I'm like, oh, that seems tiring. Yeah. And like draining. And then if it doesn't do well, you're like, why did I even try?
Yeah. Like I'm just throwing paint at the wall and just seeing what's going to happen here. Yeah. I was watching your videos, most popular to least popular. And like sometimes you'll have like a short, a 3-minute video and a 10-minute video that's like the same shoot, right? You'll have like the unedited long version, the tightly condensed 3-minute version, and then the short banger version.
Yeah. Those are nice to do, because it's the same thing with like a podcast. Like whoever wants to watch the full thing could do it, and then these are like the fire clips, the best part of the episodes. So yeah, it's kind of the same. You're kind of feeding everyone, I feel like.
One thing I think when I look at your channel is like, damn, this guy has that dedication, because you've just been like kind of grinding the same concept for a long time. Whereas I feel like a lot of YouTubers kind of like experience a degree of success, then they sort of just, they get kind of tired of doing the thing that they got popular doing, and they like want to switch it up. But it feels like you're kind of focused on this thing. But do you think beyond it? Is there like a timeline in your head where you might be like, fuck, I'm gonna like just, I feel like a lot of people who do produced content like you do just end up doing podcasts at some point. It's just like a lazy thing of like, oh, I can make an hour-long thing. It's gonna take me way less time than this like banger 5-minute video
that people want to watch the podcast. It's interesting. Cause like this year I kind of shifted to like getting out those quick snippets. Like I've always just filmed like long videos and then condense it down to like that 10 minutes, and that would just like work and stuff. But now I'm just like, I'll even go out for a shoot and just want it to be like 1 minute long, and like film it on a phone and stuff. And I'm like starting to wonder, like, would it be fun to film a full like movie on a phone? Just so easy. Right. Even before I came here, I was like, what movies have been filmed on like a phone? It's like random ones, like this Unsane one it was called, and it like looks so good. Or like this one called Tangerine. He directed like Florida Project and Red Rocket and stuff. And you're like, dang, you filmed that on a phone? That sounds so easy. Right. And I'm like, can you just use like the littlest of equipment to like make a scripted movie that feels really real, that like is has like that same heart as like a big movie, but you don't have to wait around for 5 hours to set up everything.
Right. Well, I went through that realization during my years as a BMX rider because, you know, I'm coming up and we're all using like VXs and shit and like all these like old school cameras and everything. And then phones keep getting better. I've already been riding bikes starting in like 1997. All of a sudden it's like 2011 or 12 or whatever, where everybody's got an iPhone and everybody's filming video on their phone. And then you're on Instagram and everybody's posting like, you know, whatever, like shitty ass crashes or like your leftovers are becoming the shit that you post on there. And then meanwhile, you still have like expensive ass cameras and the filmers. We all have like $4,000 fucking cameras that we're filming shit with. But then you start to have this realization that the clip that you film with the $4,000 camera is not going to do as well on Instagram as the fucking iPhone clip of the same trick, because somehow the iPhone just feels super relatable, and the really, really nice fisheye camera on a really high quality, you know, fisheye lens on a high quality camera, it just feels too polished for people and they don't want to see it.
It's like, it's almost like they want to feel like they're there. Because like with an iPhone, you feel like you're actually filming it. So maybe that's like why people like it so much. It's because like with a crash, you're like, oh, I was there. But like with a big camera, you kind of take yourself out.
Yeah, it feels like a production. You're like, you understand that like, oh, this is a crazy thing that a lot of effort went into. Whereas the iPhone angle is like, you could imagine yourself walking down the street, just sort of seeing this guy doing this shit and just stopping. Yeah,
exactly. That's interesting because people, I feel like people too, like they're like, oh, this is such high effort. And it's like, they like don't want to watch it if it's high effort, especially like on like YouTube and stuff, I feel like.
Yeah, effort is kind of a turn off to some people.
Yeah. I've seen that too before, like where it's like a creator will like put all this money into like a passion project or something and it just like won't do well.
Right.
People are just like, this isn't just like an easy dumb video.
Well, especially when you have your audience trained to expect certain things from you.
Yeah, exactly. True. So that is an interesting thing.
Like Keemstar, who's had a fascinating career arc because, you know, he used to do like millions of views on Drama Alert, and then the views just kind of kept going down over time. I think he stopped posting like a year ago or something, maybe a little longer than that. But at one point recently, he did a full-length documentary about Boogie 298 and 2988 and Wings of Redemption, these extremely morbidly obese men who had a boxing match. And it performed horribly on his channel. I think it only got like 200,000 views. And that's got to be a bitter pill to swallow, that you've been making these shit quality videos that you just in your basement rehashing like YouTuber beef. And you're like, granted, the views are going down on that too, but then you make this like extremely high quality documentary and it just doesn't perform as well as like the low quality stuff that you've been making. That's got to really make you feel like you're in a bind.
Yeah. It's like you almost got to expect it. Maybe it's like you got to like expect that this is just for passion or something instead of going, because every time I'm like, this is gonna go viral, it's been like, then it's just like, oh, that hurt when it like doesn't do well or even does well and you're just like, I wanted to do better because I spent so much time.
I see you trying to dip into the Taylor Swift clout factory.
Yeah. Am I?
Who's the male Taylor Swift or something?
I did do that.
I mean, Taylor Swift is just so viral.
Yeah.
And it used to be more like you could make a video and just put anyone's name in the title and like get that viral effect, but I feel like that doesn't happen as much anymore.
Yeah. Or it doesn't really.
Like sometimes
it's
it will.
Interesting.
But it's like your fan base probably doesn't overlap with the Taylor Swift audience for the most part, so maybe the algorithm decides that you're not worthy of that.
Yeah, you could like you back in the day you just use the tags. I remember I would like when I first started, I was like, I don't know, like 15 or something. I would just put like the tags of like just big actors. Just doesn't even relate to the video at all.
And even like websites before YouTube, they would, like if you looked at the source code or whatever, you'd like scroll the bottom and just be all these keywords over and over and over. That was like 1998 SEO practices.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I had a good lick going for a while because there was a BMX rider from LA named Chris Brown, black guy. Didn't really look like Chris Brown at all, but I would post videos of him on my channel and just put Chris Brown in the title. And it would do this weird thing where like as soon as it came out, it would get like a lot of views for a while because it would just get served to all the Chris Brown fans. And then like very quickly the algorithm would realize like, oh, this has nothing to do with Chris Brown. It would stop serving it up. But at least I would get like a little spike there.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Guy didn't look anything like Chris Brown though. That's the problem. But I would use a thumbnail where his head was like partially obscured, so you could tell it was like a black guy, but not anything more than that, really.
The algorithm now like will tell you, it'll be like, people swiped out of this immediately. Like the algorithm's so mean. This performed horribly within your last few videos, like on the YouTube studio.
Yes.
You're like, okay, thanks.
If you get a 10 out of 10, is that like genuinely bother you?
Sometimes I'll know. But if it's like one that I'm like, oh, this is pretty good, and it gets a 10 out of 10, I'll be like, oh.
One of the
kind of thing.
One of the For the Love of Lena episodes, for some reason, like right after it premiered, I looked at it and it said 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
And then I really had this kind of weird feeling of like, you let another dude fuck your wife for a 9 out of 10. And then I like looked at it again like 20 minutes later and it said 1 out of 10. And then I felt totally fine with it.
Yeah, it does secretly get to you. You could like lie to yourself like, oh no, it just didn't do well because of this and that, whatever. Right. But then it's like 1 out of 10. You're like, I knew it, bitch. I'm really going to let someone fuck my wife for a 9 out of 10.
I know. Like, what is this? I don't want to. I wasn't doing this for it to not go viral. Like, this has to go viral for it to be justified in any way.
Yeah. That's funny. Is that performing well? Or
yeah, I think like the first and second episode have like 500,000 so far. So honestly, like in order for it to cover the cost, each episode would probably have to get like 2 million views.
Yeah.
Which I kind of believe that each episode will get 1 million views, 2 million views. I mean, you also wonder like how long the shelf life is when you make something that's like really high quality.
Yeah.
And has like, probably is going to have a much longer shelf life duration on YouTube as a result of the fact that it's just probably got way better retention than the average podcast clip.
Oh, true. There's so much happening.
Yeah, it's just like every 5 seconds there's a cut and there's drums in the background.
Yeah.
Every time there's like a decision to be made.
I love reality TV like that. It's good.
What about when did you discover the trick of like just putting extremely hot chicks in every video?
I've done that for a while.
I feel like you don't do it maybe as much now.
Yeah.
Does it feel like a little bit of a compromise?
Yeah, because people like we were talking about are like just mean to girls. Like, why are you putting these girls in your videos? And you're like, chill. They're funny. And
I would do anything to just be around this attractive woman. Like, I just want to smell her. She don't even have to touch her or do anything.
Yeah.
I just want to sniff her.
I know. I just want to sniff her pheromones.
You're right.
Doy.
That's something I wish I had been able to like wrap my head around throughout my life. Is like there's so much value in just having girls around, like pretty girls.
Yeah.
Like just don't fuck them. Keep them around. They're your friends. Pretend that you have friendships with them. They will bait other women into your circle.
Yeah. You gotta just you gotta just pretend to be their friend. Pretend to be their bestie.
But so what do? You like DM a random girl and you say like, hey, I want to use you as clickbait in my video.
I think like a lot of it's like, especially like only, hey, I want to use you as clickbait for my video.
Well, now in the OnlyFans era, it's got to be an easy sell because every girl's looking for something to do on YouTube to get some eyes on her, right?
Yeah. And there are like funny ones. Like I think me and Kazumi work together. I think she's hilarious.
Yeah.
And
she's hot.
But
more hot than hilarious. No offense, Kazumi.
Sorry, Kazumi. She actually is the one that I think got me on your show or introduced me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I was kind of wondering that. Where the fuck did he come from?
Yeah, where did I come from? But what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, it's funny because I'll do like a video. I'll do like 10 videos for the boys where it's like just dudes being dudes and like just like bro humor or whatever. And then I'll do like one with like a girl and then like, or like an OnlyFans girl. Then like there'd be like just weird guys just be like, why the fuck do you have these whores in video? And I'm like, you're only seeing this video because they're in it, right. And you didn't see the last like 10 videos or something. Like,
right?
I'm like, so you're kind of only watching because they're in it. So why are you getting mad about this? You should be ashamed of yourself,
right? I think there is a lot of shame going on there. The guys click it because they think the girls are hot, but then they're kind of mad at themselves that they're watching content that really has nothing to do with them.
Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, then you didn't watch any of the last ones.
Right.
So why didn't you watch the last one? And they're like, you only use hot girls. I'm like, what? Okay.
I remember at least 10 years ago, probably longer than that, there was this BMX company and they went on a trip overseas and they made a video and the thumbnail was just a woman's ass. Because I think they were in like Brazil or South America or some shit, and there's just, you know, chicks shaking ass on the street, and they got a clip of this girl's ass moving around, looked great, and they made it the thumbnail. And this is back in the day before you could get, you know, demonetized for having a fucking ass as your thumbnail. And then they got like a couple million views, and they were just like so stoked, like beyond stoked. And then they go on another trip, and I think that I can't remember if they used another ass or if they like tried to kind of pull this off again, but I don't think it ever worked again after that. And I really felt for them. Yeah. They just accidentally landed on algorithmic gold.
Yeah. That used to happen. I feel like they'd be like the worst videos and they would have like 50 million views on YouTube, just these long videos. And you're like, dang, they cashed out. And then you watch it. It's like this weird prank.
Well, if you
they just hit this algorithmic gold.
If you stay consistent and put out a video like every week or whatever your schedule is, at some point the algorithm will reward you by just being like, hey, this one's doing better than all the other ones. Boom, we're going to just show it to everyone.
Yeah. That's how like the shorts work sometimes too, or even reels. It's like a few days after, they're just like, you're like, whoa, okay. But that was random.
Do you feel like it's kind of defeating to put so much time into reels and TikToks that don't earn any money when, as a YouTuber, like obviously the full length videos are the thing that's actually bringing cash in? Yeah,
it's interesting. So I'm like, where do I even get money to survive? Like,
you have that feeling?
Yeah, I was having that this morning. I'm like, oh, whoa, like I need to like just branch out, do a bunch of different things. But it's like, it is gratifying to have the shorts. And then like now TikTok's paying over like a minute things. And it's like, that's now competitive and stuff too.
What's the most you ever made on TikTok in a month?
I think it's right when like their beta program, I made like a few thousand, like nothing crazy. Cause that month I just didn't have anything pop off. But I was like, oh, cool. A few $1,000 for posting TikToks that I would just post anyway.
It's better than just being on there for free.
Yeah. It's like I could feed my dog.
Your dog costs a couple $1,000 a month to feed?
No, she's like a little Pomeranian. I almost brought her.
I don't pay any attention to how much my dog's food costs, but Lena just told me that we're now paying $500 a month for his food.
Really?
It's the nicest looking food I ever seen.
Dang.
All these
like
little
cooked up, prepared,
and
all
these little packets, and I gotta like scoop it out and mix it together in the bowl. And she told me that the dry food we were giving him before was like $50 a month or $100 a month, like nothing.
Yeah.
5x to just make the dog healthier, knowing that his lifespan is like 12 years or whatever.
Yeah, I should do that. But I had a dog trainer in the beginning because I was like, oh, my dog barks when I walk, like when I go to the bathroom. I'm like not in the same room as her. She couldn't even, she said, she was like, oh, I'm going to take your dog and I'll fix the barking for like 2 weeks. And then my dog came back and she was still barking.
Yeah, we had that problem too. We had to send him away again.
Yeah.
It got a little better.
Yeah. I just try to brush it off now, but she's better at like walks and stuff. But she told me all this crazy stuff to do to like feed my dog. And I'm like, this sounds so like get pumpkin pie stuff. I was like, what? And then like this kind of stuff's poisonous. This one's poisonous. This one's poisonous. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy.
It's crazy. That's a job to just like make up a bunch of bullshit about a dog's diet and just like feed it to people.
Yeah. I was kind of wondering if like a lot of it was bullshit. She started like digging into myself. It was like during COVID.
Right.
I was like drinking a lot at that time. And she was like, are you sure it's not like your drinking problem is your dog is like feeling like, and I was like, whoa, what, really? Probably.
You're like, yeah.
She was like about to make me cry.
As soon as somebody starts telling me that my dog's like emotional state might be the problem, my eyes are just going to roll into the back of my head. And I'm just going to be over this fucking conversation. Yeah.
It was wild. She'd come over at like 9 a.m. and I was tired and she'd just like give me like a therapy session about my dog's anxiety problems were about like how much I was drinking during COVID. And I was like, okay, maybe you're right. Did my parents like hire you?
Right. So where are you at with the drinking today?
I've stopped drinking, hopefully for good.
When
I'm like 4 months. 4 months sober.
Wow.
I think it's the longest since I was like 20.
Because I saw some bits of you on the Cold Ones podcast.
Oh yeah.
And they are, I guess, like extremely enthusiastic drinkers.
Yeah.
And you were talking about, how you film some of your best stuff while hungover or whatever. But like, yeah, why'd you stop? Why'd you kick it?
I just like wanted to get healthier. I felt like bloated, and I was like, I was like drinking too much. Like noon, I'd be like, a White Claw sounds good. And so I was like, maybe I should just like not do it anymore.
Right.
And like,
And you're how old?
31.
That's when it really starts to kick in, I feel like.
Yeah. I was like, oh, it's cute when I was like in Australia with doing Cold Ones.
Well, they just do it forever.
Yeah.
They just drink for the rest of their lives.
in Australia.
Yeah, you're like 75 and you're still slamming pints.
That sounds fun.
I don't.
But
my thing
are you
is
a drinker?
No, I
Really?
stopped 5 years ago.
Oh, really?
Also, when I stopped doing cocaine and Xanax and all these things,
Yeah.
just kind of all at the same time, poof, just
Yeah.
stopped. And I'll still drink once in a while, but like at my birthday party, which you went to, I had one White Claw at the house, felt like the tiniest bit of like acid reflux / indigestion. I don't know what the fuck
Yeah.
to call it. And just was like, you know what? Like, I'll have more fun tonight if I don't drink, and I'll feel great tomorrow. So I'm just not going to drink. And it just, that little bit of pain that I felt from the White Claw just made that seem like the easiest decision in the world.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Cause I feel like I would drink way too much, and then like the medication just like mixes, and I like looked it up. I was like, oh, I should be like dead by now.
What medication?
Like Lexapro.
How's that going?
I've been taking it forever, and I didn't see like how Lexapro and alcohol mix. And then I looked it up when I was like, I felt like shit one day, and I just looked it up, and I was like, oh, I shouldn't drink them anymore ever. or do drugs.
The antidepressants make it like a million times more powerful, right?
Yeah.
I remember somebody sold me some Oxys back in the day. It was the only time I ever had Oxys, but I was just like with some dude, and he just like had an Oxy prescription, and he was just like, I'll sell you these for $10 each. And I had heard somebody say like, these are worth like $100 each.
Yeah.
So I bought them. And then I like couldn't find anybody to buy them, because you have to be like a straight up like crackhead to fucking want to like buy 80 milligram Oxys. And now I would have a really easy time selling those. But at that time, I didn't really have like a network of drug users. So I ended up taking them myself, because I got a concussion and my fucking head hurt so bad. And then I remember I went out drinking one night and off of Oxy, and took like, drank half a beer, and I was just fucking annihilated. And that was when I realized like, oh, that's a real thing.
Yeah. You just, it makes it stronger.
Way stronger.
It makes me like sleepy.
So why'd you get on the Lexapro?
I just felt like I was like in my head, like just distracted all the time. And so like I just like told the doctor that, and he was like, yeah, here you go. Here's Big Pharma. Shove this Big Pharma up your butt. But when I don't drink it, like I definitely feel like it's working.
Right.
And then when I do.
So you have a good relationship with it?
Yeah, pretty good.
That's good to hear.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just I've been doing it for so long, I like I'd like be the same, or if I like just didn't do it and I just matured and like was like got out of my head somehow or whatever. But
right.
I think it's good. I wouldn't recommend it for everyone.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people who like, I remember being in fucking high school.
Yeah.
And just like hearing from my mom about like how essential she felt it was for like young girls to get on antidepressants.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just being like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, how you really think that like such a large percentage of kids need to be on this shit?
Yeah.
And
so you're kind of hooked on it. Like, when you're on it.
Your developmental age. I mean, they put me on Wellbutrin when I was like 13, 14.
Oh, really?
And I did it for like 6 months, and then I stopped. And then at some point I realized like, oh, I can't really remember that 6 months.
Oh, really?
It was just kind of a blur.
Yeah. Come like robotic or something. Yeah. I hear some like horror stories of different medication.
I was behaving horribly in school and getting arrested for doing stuff outside of school. So I guess that's why they thought that I needed something.
Yeah. Like exposing yourself in the bathroom.
It never went that far. More just like you can get in trouble for anything in school.
No, I know.
And then you fucking, enter into this new world and it's just totally lawless.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could just scream at someone on the street and nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, I heard Casey Neistat saying that the other day, that the difference between New York and LA is that in New York, like the cops like really want to catch criminals, and in LA they just genuinely seem like they don't give a fuck. And I was like, that is true. Like somehow I've kind of grown numb to that.
Mm-hmm.
But it does feel like in New York City they're just trying to really get everybody doing anything illegal, and in LA it just feels like almost anything could happen and the cops aren't going to do anything.
Yeah, I've heard stories like about that. They're just like,
yeah.
Or I've heard stories where they just like drive past something.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've seen in New York just like a FedEx truck just like parked, and then all of a sudden a bunch of fucking undercover cops just run out of the FedEx truck, and I realized that it was an undercover operation the whole time.
Oh dang.
And I'm like, the cops do not appear to be working that hard in LA.
Yeah. True.
Where do you get your experience with young children? Pause. But when you make the videos about the toddlers, you were just kind of like making jokes that I felt like I would never have understood if I wasn't a dad.
Yeah.
Like there's one where you were just like, well, I got a little, I missed out on a little bit of sleep, so I'm just going to fuck shit up. He's knocking everything over. And I'm just like, yeah, why is that? My kid misses out on like 20 minutes of sleep, and she just fucking wants to destroy shit.
Yeah. I think I have like nieces and nephews. I have like 3 older sisters that have like kids, so I kind of like get that, and it's just like off like basic like experience too, like as being like a kid, just remembering like how like cranky you would like get, or just like, or even like stories that like my mom would say like about like when I was a kid, and just like use that for videos, or like friends would be like, oh yeah, we did this, or it's just like improvise really sometimes too.
Yeah, I feel like I don't remember anything from like when I was like a little kid. And then as soon as I started to be a grown up at all, I was just like not, like my friends would have babies and I was just, I don't care. I'm not going to go see this thing.
I'm not going to see this creature.
Remember like my sister had kids and I started to like, go see them and shit. And like,
you see how like, how fast their like moods switch up.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. Yeah.
And that really kind of makes you understand like how important your mood is.
Mm-hmm.
That you could really like perceive events in multiple different ways, depending on where you're at.
That is weird, like the whole manifestation type stuff that like some people like talk about. I'm like, it's kind of real sometimes. I don't even care if it's like voodoo,
right? But like I could have. Like sometimes my girl, this pisses her off. She'll ask me for my opinion on something, and then I'll give her a certain answer, and then she'll ask me the same exact thing like 8 hours later when I've like smoked weed and like got home from work.
You give a completely different
answer, and I don't remember giving the first answer. And then she'll point out this duality.
Like you switched up.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You never asked me that before. And at a certain point, I just kind of have to believe her.
Yeah.
I just wasn't really paying attention the first time around or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe I really was a totally different person.
She's just testing you.
Yeah.
Yeah. People could read me like a book if I'm like in a bad mood.
Really?
Yeah. They're like, ooh, like right when I walk in, they're like, he's no fun.
Because you're supposed to be Mr. Funny Guy.
Just be Mr. Funny Guy.
Does that weigh on you?
Clown.
That pressure?
No, not too bad. Especially because if you're like, I'm surrounded by like a lot of funny friends too, so it's like, or like creators are always they kind of have that like, switch a little bit. You ever feel like that before a podcast? You're like in a crummy mood and you have to like kind of switch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you do a lot of podcasts, so it's like
if you're having a bad day, you got to be able to just sort of flip out of it.
Yeah.
And be able to kind of laugh at your bad day / ignore your bad day. But sometimes the bad days can be so bad that like it's almost pointless.
Yeah. Or you could like acknowledge it or like bring it out or tell people about your like how you're feeling and make a joke out of it almost.
Yeah.
That kind of helps probably, especially on a podcast.
So sometimes depression is just like, sometimes it's just too real.
It's too sus.
Could you be funny while you're going through some hard shit, like a breakup or?
Sometimes it feels like you could be funnier through those moments. Same thing like what I was saying on that pod or the cold ones, where it's like when you're hungover, more funny.
Right.
I don't know why I said that then, but nowadays I just get anxious. So it's not like a hangover. It's like anxiety.
Oh yeah.
That's like kind of why I stopped too. But it's like, if you are in that like loosey, just like, oh my gosh, it's kind of like really late at night. You're like really funny because you're just so like loose and like you're like half brain dead.
Right. But that's a miserable thing that happens to you as you get older, is that you like your level of energy and enthusiasm just starts to diminish a bit. So like I felt like that at my party, whereas like by the time it was 2 or 3 in the morning, I just, you know, you could have came up to me and told me you had found the cure for cancer, and I'd just be like, yeah, okay. There was just nothing going on. Like I just was a walking fucking zombie after being up since 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's just, when I was a kid, I remember like you could hit me up at 3 in the morning and say, we're going to this party. I'd be like, let's go, sign me up.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Especially like, cause it was your party and you're like talking to like everyone.
Yeah,
That's
that
so
was very
draining. Like, oh
overwhelming,
my gosh. I always watch like a big movie and they have like 1,000 people like doing a war scene. And I'm like, how do you not want to die just like orchestrating that whole thing?
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, it's just like that social battery, but it's also like, I feel like those like those memes where it's like, in your 20s you go out and party, in your 30s you want to sleep, and I'm like, that'll never be me in my 20s, and then I'm like, that is me, damn it. I like fall under that.
That's why it feels weird to be 40, because it's
Yeah.
like I'm 10 years away from being like, I mean, I don't know what the fuck 50 is, but it doesn't seem like you're supposed to be doing any fun shit at 50.
Let's get back into cocaine.
When's the last time you did it?
Probably like a few months ago, 5 months ago.
Really? With the drinking?
Yeah, it's kind of like they go hand in hand sometimes.
It's like a yin yang.
Yeah, no good.
Ugh. But it's
Bad.
so good too.
Yeah, it's so good.
I drank for many years and then I found out about Coke and I'm like, oh, this is how you do it.
Oh, this is the fun part.
Yeah, this is how everybody's staying out till 9 in the morning drinking, is because they're doing Coke too.
Oh, that's why my friends randomly are super excited to talk to me.
Yeah.
After they get out of a room with a bunch of people sniffing their keys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's like, I mean, I remember just having conversations at parties with like a girl who was like a real estate agent secretary, and she would tell me that's what she did for a living, and I would be having like the most passionate fucking conversation with her for like 40 minutes about this in between doing Coke, and then wake up the next day and just like look at your text with her, and you're just like, holy fuck, you were trying to go over her crib at 6 in the morning, and like it's just so embarrassing, like just to become that
it's
version
the
of you.
worst. And you could like totally tell when people are like doing it, especially if you've done it. You're like, oh, they're sending novels at 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
They're definitely doing Coke.
And it's weird too, because now that I don't drink, I'm so oblivious to other people drinking. I go to parties and I'll just be thinking like, wow, that guy's so fucking annoying. And then somebody has to kind of point it out to me like, oh, he's been
drunk.
drinking all day.
Yeah.
He's fucked.
Yeah.
And you're stone cold sober. So of course you don't understand it all.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I was sober at your party too.
Really?
Yeah. And it was like, it is funny to see. You're like, oh, that person's going crazy. And you're like, oh, they're just really drunk.
Right.
So I have like such a forgiveness for drunk people now. They could just like fall and like spit on me, and I'll be like, whatever, I've been there.
Right. But at the same time, it's like, no, I hate you.
Yeah.
Like, I really, really hate you for being drunk right now, because I can't, my selfish brain refuses to remember that this was something that I once did.
Things. Yeah.
Or like some super hot famous porn stars just coming up to me and just being so nice to me at the party. And I'm like thinking about every other interaction we ever had. And I'm like, what is this? This is like totally different. And then I remember like, oh, it's 3 in the morning. She's drunk as fuck.
Yeah.
That's why she loves you right now. She's pretty measured normally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Definitely. Oh yeah. So do you watch a lot of Red Pill podcasts? What are you getting out of that? I've watching your skits about them. It made me feel like, oh, he's definitely watching a significant amount of these.
I've seen clips and stuff, and then I kind of like, and then I'll deep dive on Instagram Reels, and like my algorithm's like super fucked up. But do you ever do that where you like gravitate towards some weird niche on like Instagram or TikTok, and then they start showing you that, and like for like a month it was like broken like gym bros, where they're like me when I'm with her, and then it's like me when I'm not. It's like it's like the funniest, weirdest, like saddest thing. And then like another was like those alpha podcasters.
Yeah.
Where you're like, whoa, like it's like so overwhelming.
That shit's scary to me because I imagine myself as like a 16-year-old finding out about that shit and just being totally down and just being like, oh, you're telling me that all of your base level 16-year-old boy desires are totally justifiable and real and like just completely confirming all that shit, and all the shit that annoys you about women or that like based on your very small amount of experience with women at that age is like indicative of them being completely fucked. Yeah. And so on one hand, I think that like the Andrew Tate hysteria is maybe a little overblown. But then when I hear people like talking about like, you know, an 8th grade class where like all the kids are just like kind of fully on the Andrew Tate train.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
crazy.
That is scary because that maybe could have been me.
Yeah, for sure. 'Cause they're so like impressionable and like they do seem so confident, whether it's like they say it to like be kind of like out there and like for like that viral like drama to like say stuff like kids are going to believe it still. Yeah. And like the internet still believes it, even not even kids. Like you'll see like a fake like prank or something and like they make it look all real, but it's like if you really look into it, you're like, this is fake as hell. And it's like yeah, people are going to believe that. And like they're almost like cult leaders, almost like those alpha guys, because they're so confident. Yeah. And like I watched this one guy, he's like this bald guy and he's like a salesman. And like, but he's like this intense guy, and you might have seen the clip where he's like, if you don't have a 6-pack, you don't work here, you don't work in my company. And it's like, and then he's like, if you're not having sex every night, like, what are you doing? Like girls don't. I'm like, what? Some nights you don't want to, like, do you actually want to have sex every night? Like I don't know. It's a little crazy.
I mean, honestly, I could probably have sex every night, but even most of the porn stars that I know, females, I don't know if they're having sex like every night with their boyfriend. Well, granted, they are fucking for a living, so they're probably some of the people who are less likely to want to have sex every night.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
But what you're describing, too, is that now there's like the people who are basically doing like fake podcast clips, whether it's like a completely staged podcast or if it's more like, you know, they're just going on a podcast and just sort of trolling to get the clips that they want to get by having the craziest possible opinions that nobody could ever. I wish I had figured that out like 10 years ago. Yeah, yeah. Because then you would have been fucking invincible. Yeah. Because nobody even knew about trolling back then.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. It's like a new world we live in. Like even my barber, shout out to my barber, but I just seen him on Instagram doing fake podcast clips.
Oh, really?
He's just talking about like working hard or some shit into a mic, and like it kind of looks like it's a podcast, but it's not.
Oh, that's funny.
And I'm like, that's fucking genius. Because realistically, like, why even wait until somebody invites you on a podcast? Why not just film it yourself and turn it into TikToks?
Yeah, I've seen like those like dating guru guys that like are like, all right, so you got to do this, and they're pretty red pilled like at the base of their of like what they believe in. And I watched one. He has like no followers, but I think he just sets up the camera and pretends like he's on a podcast.
Yeah. That's what this barber is doing as well.
Oh, really?
But even, okay, there's a girl named Vicky Banks, and I don't know who her manager is or whatever. She's a porn star, but she is the one who I think she went viral for saying that like her man, she's going to make him come 8 times a day. You know, some shit like that like nobody ever would ever say.
I've seen that clip.
And that's kind of what you need to do if you want to like get the full viral reaction that you're going for. Is you need to be willing to like say something that nobody would ever say.
Yeah, yeah. And that's like funny and can be like memed as well, I guess, or like it's just funny to send that to someone, even, but like everyone's gonna believe that's like what she really does, even if it's like not like just on a. I think like the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, that's real. But like it could just be like something she just said out of whim, you know, and everyone just believes it.
Well, I already know her, and I think I know her. Honestly, I can't remember who I've met and who I haven't met at this point, but like I just immediately was like, oh, she's saying that to get OnlyFans signups. She wants the fucking world to believe that she's really like obsessed with sucking dick.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. But also it's like the vast majority of people don't have the media literacy to understand that this is being done for content. And honestly, even like doing a reality show based around getting someone to fuck your wife, I mean, it's kind of like the same thing where it's like we're kind of playing characters without ever like even acknowledging to each other that we're playing characters.
Yeah.
But then it's like such an absurd concept that nobody would ever do this in a million years unless they were set to make money off of it.
Yeah. That's interesting. Shoot, what was I gonna say? Fuck, I forgot my chain.
It's just there's a lot of stuff like that now.
Yeah.
People will come up with recipes that don't work in real life. I've seen like friends of my girl like have this conversation with her where like I found this recipe on TikTok and I tried to make this cake like this, and it's like they try to do exactly what it shows in the video, but it doesn't work because the video is not, it's not like a realistic cake that anybody would be able to do. They're fucking doing something weird to like convince you that this is how a cake might possibly end up, and it looks great for TikTok, but it makes no sense in reality.
Yeah. It's like those guys that are like fucking dough and making like gourmet. Have you seen those?
No, they fuck dough. What?
No, like they have their shirt off and they're like slapping the dough and then making like a donut or something or like a thing. But I did a video where I like told my friend to film it from around the corner of me like on a Tinder date with like one of my friends who I make videos with her all the time. And like it looked real because like we filmed it like Snapchat style, and I posted it on my page and just put like the Snapchat captions like, oh, she's on a Tinder date and it's like going horribly and we're just like watching a movie and I'm just like trying to put my arm around her and just being like, I'm not gonna touch you, don't worry, like just like creepy,
right?
And like everyone just believes it. And I'm like, is this gonna like?
And on your page, like I am a professional comedian for like 7 years or however long you've been doing it, and your own audience is still like kind of willing to go with it.
Yeah, and like people just believe it at like that face value of like this is real, or even like long comments being like, I don't know if this is like real or not. Like she needs to like kick him out, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, I'm not trying to hide the fact that it's me like that hard. I was just like playing like a really weird character, but now I feel like it's like fraud, like almost.
I don't like the most overused version of that genre is like the fake gym clips of like, I'm gonna just pretend to be really bad at working out.
Oh yeah,
and then,
yeah.
like have someone film
it
me,
from far away, yeah.
And then I'm gonna post it, and it's gonna go viral from people telling me that. And you know, honestly, like. I fucking did one too. I just remember I kind of did one because right after the shit came out about my girl shooting a scene with another guy, I had my personal trainer take a picture of me benching like 140 pounds or something, like not a lot.
Yeah.
And I wrote, but like not so low that it would be obvious. It's like a sort of moderate weight. And then I wrote like
gonna fight.
You couldn't understand the strength that it takes to let another man bang your wife. And it just fucking went so viral from people just pointing out that I wasn't benching that much weight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's this easy. Like when you have a seed of something good, it's that easy to troll people.
Yeah. And it's like that gives them like a reason to comment.
Virtue
too.
signal and be like, you're a pussy.
Yeah.
I'm strong.
They think they're like, yeah, it is funny because like a lot of the people in that Tinder one, they're like, why would she even let him in the house? Like she's asking for it. And people are like, what the fuck, dude? Like this is no normal thing to like have a Tinder date.
I thought one the other day.
So much
because I'm doing a photo shoot with my girl and the winner of the reality show, and I just thought to myself, like, I'm gonna post this when we get these photos back. I'm just gonna post on Twitter. I'm gonna write, "It takes a real man to share his woman."
Yeah.
Boom. Like I can already guarantee. Just by saying something that I don't actually believe or care about, and making it a declarative statement that I could just set Twitter ablaze. That day.
People will argue. Was that a picture from the show?
No, we did like a photo shoot here, like right before we did the scene.
Oh, yeah.
And got all these like, I mean, they looked beautiful to me. I don't know how they're going to actually come out, but they looked like real, like high fashion, like artsy ass photos of us, like with the girl, with my wife. And it just, I don't know. I feel like it's just going to It's gonna really be
It's gonna
like
piss people off.
probably like my last opportunity to really just play the cut card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in the picture when all the guys are standing behind Lena.
And you're in the corner. That got so many comments of people just pointing out, like,
Oh, really?
look at this guy in the back. And then another round of people saying, look at Cherdleys. Yeah. So you have like two different types of reactions. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's funny to like make the internet upset or like have because I'll do like obvious sketches of like LA girls be like, and then everyone's like, fuck LA girls. Right. They're all fake.
Or the Erewhon one.
Yeah. I did like one in Erewhon. Everyone's like, why the fuck would you let a girl go to Erewhon? I'll dump her ass. I'm like, whoa. Like people get so heated.
Erewhon is so insanely expensive.
Yeah. And it does cause like a discussion too. That's why it's like fun. Or like for that like kind of picture, it's like everyone's gonna just have like this little circle jerk of opinions.
But it's crazy too, because that's a joke that makes no sense to the rest of the world. Because the rest of the world has no fucking clue that Erewhon is this extremely expensive grocery store that exists all over LA, and it's it is very good, very nice, great very selection of products.
Yeah, my friend sent me a picture of Erewhon after I did it, and there's like they're like one of their catchphrases or slogans somewhere on their store says like eat less.
Really?
Yeah, like eat better, eat less, and I'm like, what? That's a weird like thing.
That's horrible.
Something like that.
How dare you?
I'm like, is that, how is LA not like fat phobic?
You ever meet a girl at Erewhon?
No.
Oh. You have a girlfriend?
No.
Have you ever? How was that?
It was cool.
How long you been single for?
Like 3 years, on and off.
What do you think is holding you back? You probably meet women all the time, right?
Yeah, I kind of keep it chill now.
Why? You just don't think it's for you? It's not the right time?
Yeah, I'm just kind of zen.
Really?
Just want to be at peace.
You don't think you could be the best version of yourself while maintaining a relationship?
No, I can. I just feel like dating is kind of like hard.
Because of LA?
Yeah. It's like fun, but it's also just like tiring.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just like getting older. I moved to like the Valley area more, so I'm just like kind of out of it.
Yeah, I mean, once you get to when I got into my relationship 7-8 years ago, I was at the point in my life where I was just literally fucking every girl I possibly could. And then now when I think about it, it's like that just seems like too dangerous. You're really playing with fire. Like you just can't live your life like that after a certain point.
Yeah. It gets like draining, and it's like, it just doesn't seem like that fun.
It's just going to be too much of a mess too. Like
I want to fall in love. Slide in those DMs.
I mean, that would probably be good, right? Yeah. Do you think it would fuck you up? Do you think it's worth it to fall in love?
No, I think like getting into settling down would be good. Less distractions. You just focus on like one thing. Because like dating a lot and like hooking up a lot. It's like it's kind of distracting.
Oh, big time.
A little bit, especially if it's just like that like no emotion hookups. I don't know.
Yeah, and especially like if you want to go out with a girl, you want to go to dinner. Maybe you got to meet her at like 7 or 8 or some shit. And like if it goes well, you're going to be drinking and probably hanging out until like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah,
and that is just like a fucking full-time job if you do that every night.
Yeah, some guys do.
Yeah,
but I have met like weirdly like some of my really good friends on like Tinder.
Really?
Yeah. We'll just like. Cause like I'll just like hit it off with them as like friends, and then we're just friends.
Tinder was like the greatest thing that ever happened to me when I first got on there, and then I also feel like it kind of ruined just being a hoe.
Yeah.
It just made it too much of like a mechanical game.
Yeah, like a weird little game.
And then honestly, getting clout kind of fucked it up even worse.
Yeah,
because then it's just like way too easy to get pussy, and you're just really just drowning in it, and just having too much is just. I don't know, it kind of fucks it up. It's better when it's scarce.
Yeah.
Living in a small town, and there's
That'd
like
be sick. Living on a farm.
There's like 15 girls in like a 10-mile radius, and like a couple of them are related to you.
You just know, like, all right, this is my only option. That's nice. It's like in and out. You only have like 3 options, and you're like, I'm gonna fall in love with her.
Yeah.
The one girl in the town that is normal.
I mean, like food was easy before Postmates too.
True.
I used to just like,
Now there's too much.
I would eat whatever burrito was the closest to my house almost every day for a large part of my life. And
We're
then
not from this generation.
right, but then Postmates comes out and I could eat whatever I want, right? I could try a different burrito every day.
Yeah.
And it just kind of fucks up burritos for me.
We're depraved from all of our options.
Exactly.
That's deep.
Sucks.
That's so deep.
It would be crazy to like remove yourself from that.
Yeah.
Just move somewhere.
Move to like Bangladesh and have like a chicken farm and
I'm down.
that's it.
Yeah, that
That's all
doesn't
I
sound like the
got.
worst thing on earth.
I didn't have any more options there.
A chicken farm is hit.
Bangladesh and a chicken farm, and that's it.
There's just nothing else. It's like this LA influencer lifestyle, and then there's chicken farm.
Yeah, chicken farm.
It comes out like chicken parm.
Yeah. Ooh. Could start a business there called Chicken Parm.
What are you gonna eat tonight?
Tonight, I just started this, like, not eating past 8. That shit sucks.
And it's 6:22. So you got one more meal in you, or like?
Yeah, I got one more meal. I might make something like hearty. I might grill something.
Ooh.
Have a little outdoor grill. That shit's sick.
Will you throw
Dad
on
mode.
chicken steak?
Yeah, I'm gonna kill a chicken.
No, not gonna kill it. But what meat would you throw on the grill?
I've been getting like little steaks lately. Those are good. I feel like I'm getting back into steak. It fell off for a bit.
Steak fell off. It's back.
Steak fell off, so now we're back.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ramen might be good if it's cold.
Right. My girl's on some like crazy restricted diet because she's trying to like get her fucking gut biome fixed or something. I don't know. She talks. I don't really
Some
listen
gut
to
stuff.
Yeah. But something like that. And so sometimes I just come home and she's just cooking like the biggest fucking steak you ever seen in your life.
Oh, really?
And that's her dinner.
Oh, dang.
And that's just the whole thing.
Yeah.
And she's not buying me any steak because she's thinking like, oh, he's already got his own meal shit figured out.
He already Postmated some dumb shit.
Well, I'm on some boring ass meal prep.
Really?
I've been on it for years.
What is it?
Just boring. Just like a piece of fish and some vegetables next to it, and that's it.
You dog yourself. You give yourself the same kind of thing every day, like a dog.
Yeah. Well,
Your dog probably eats better than you.
I mean, I guess he's eating the same thing literally every day, whereas mine has like a bit of variety.
Yeah, true.
But it does kind of feel like, like there's just nothing good that can come from like trying to titillate your taste buds every day, right? Like I love eating fucking burgers and pizza and stuff, but I think you just want to eat something steady every day so that when you do veer away from that it's kind of exciting.
Yeah. Like I'll have a smoothie at like noon, and then I'll eat some snacks, and then I'll have like a big meal at night. That's what I'm been gonna try to do for like a month, But yeah, and then like go to the movies and just like eat like a bucket of popcorn and just shit my pants the next day. That's always fun.
Really?
Doing that.
The popcorn will make you shit your pants?
I don't know. Just like once you get like that healthy thing going, then your stomach like eats something crazy, then I feel like you'll shit your pants the next day. Maybe.
I feel like that's kind of where I'm at, coming right off Thanksgiving right now.
Yeah.
Because I told my girl and my kid, I said, all I want for my birthday is an ice cream cake.
Yeah.
And so somehow my girl found a cake from Salt and Straw, which is our favorite ice cream joint, and it's
That place goes hard.
a collab cake with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah.
Cost $90.
Yeah.
It is like this big, just pure ice cream.
Yeah.
And
Salt and Straw collab with Dwayne
The Rock Johnson. And actually, one of my rapper friends just sent
Snoop
me
Dogg and Martha Stewart.
right,
collab.
like the weirdest fucking thing you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
But my friend just sent me a fucking link to an Instagram reel that The Rock actually posted of this cake. So to anyone in my life who was questioning like why The Rock had a collaboration cake,
Yeah.
my response is just, well,
He definitely could.
that ice cream brand got a shitload of publicity, presumably some followers and shit.
Yeah. And it's just a funny meme at the end of the day.
You know what's the craziest part about it is that it's a Christmas time Dwayne The Rock Johnson collab. So it's called Dwanta.
Dwanta.
You put Dwayne and Santa together, you get Dwanta.
Is it really?
This is real, yes.
It's called the Dwanta cake?
Yeah.
That sounds so weird.
I ate it for 3 days in a row. And
Duanta.
I'm pretty sure we threw away the rest of it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to bring that into like a normal week right now.
Yeah, no. You can't start your week with Duanta.
Yeah. And the ice cream cake, like you got to leave it out and just let it kind of thaw out for like 20 minutes before you eat it.
Production.
It's sick.
It's disgusting.
I'm like so over it. I was so excited about ice cream cake.
Duanta. That's the funniest name ever.
Yeah.
My Aunt Duanta is coming over.
I was pretty amused by it myself.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a troop of girls out here.
Yeah, I could hear that.
Rappers.
Yeah.
The Cuzzos.
Yeah.
That's their name.
The Cuzzos?
The Cuzzos. It's like Crip slang. So I guess I don't know how dangerous they are. No. Other Crips. I don't even know if they get along with Crip Mac, but it's actually a good question. I should probably lay into them about that.
Yeah, you should.
But yeah, Cherdleys, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you competing to fuck my wife.
Yeah.
That meant a lot.
Tried my best.
Did good. I wish you the best in your endeavors.
Thank you.
Really don't know what people are going to think about this episode.
No idea.
It's going to be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But thank you.
You're welcome.
What do you want
Thanks
them,
for having me.
Yeah, what should they keep an eye out for?
Just I don't know, I guess whatever pops up on your feed. If you see my beautiful face, write a hate comment and we'll bring you on the show.
Yeah. No problem. Because it's kind of almost unthinkable that you haven't started a podcast yet. That's what everyone does.
I know, I should, huh?
Well, I don't know if you should.
Yeah.
I just say that because it feels like everybody does it. And it's kind of like...
know. I'm like, I missed that mark, maybe.
Yeah. There's so many YouTubers that I liked at one point, and then they just stopped making like skits or like produced videos, and they just became podcasters.
Yeah, yeah.
Or even like Nelk Boys. They got famous for making these like tightly edited like 20-minute videos, and now they're like switching to doing a lot of IRL content. It's kind of like the same idea. Like, we're going to give you a block of 5 hours of whatever the fuck we feel like doing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I kind of like quality over quantity, even though I am a podcaster by nature.
At the end of the day.
And we've been sitting here for like an hour and a half.
All right. Let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here.
Let's eat some fish and rice and pre-cooked stuff.
These chicks are going to flip the fuck out if you do the Heelys in front of them.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm just kind of assuming that the Cuzzos haven't seen a lot of Heelys. No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Patreon, Instagram, etc. Like, comment, and subscribe. NoJumper.com if you want to support, and go turn Cherdleys up on all of his respective platforms.
Yeah.